Ego. this event of today, this public lecture. And we have a special guest with us. But before that, I'll give you a brief rundown of our program. Thank you once more for being patient till this time. Our program states students take seats, staff and lecturers are seated, arrival of university administrators, arrival of keynote speaker, guest of honor, and the Vice Chancellor, done. Welcome address by the Vice Chancellor, presentation of the profile of the keynote speaker, musical interlude, presentation of the keynote address, reaction to keynote address by the Vice President, Professor Folusho and Professor Charles Awono, Q&A session with participants, musical interlude, closing remark by the Vice Chancellor, group photograph. So it's going to be a very brief program, straight to the point. So without wasting time, we are going to hand over the microphone to our distinguished Vice Chancellor, Professor Emmanuel Tournier. Please, a round of applause for our Vice Chancellor for his word of welcome. Please don't stop until he takes the mic. Keep it up.
Thank you so much. Mesdames et messieurs les invités de marque, members of staff, both administrative and academic, dear students, dear Dr. PICHOP, dear Professor Folusho, c'est un immense plaisir et un profond honneur que je prends la parole aujourd'hui pour vous souhaiter, en mon nom propre et au nom de toute la communauté universitaire de ACT University, la plus chaleureuse des bienvenues. Today, we have the privilege of receiving among us Dr. Germain N. PICHOP, Associate Professor of Business Administration at East Central University and Chairman of the Board of Directors of ACBSP, the global accrediting body for business education. His presence within these walls is a landmark event for our institution and for all of us who strive here for academic excellence. Le parcours du Dr. PICHOP est un exemple remarquable de polyvalence intellectuelle et d'engagement au service du savoir. De l'analyse des chaînes de valeur des légumes traditionnels en Afrique subsaharienne à la conception pionnière de méthodes d'apprentissage assistées par l'intelligence artificielle dans les salles de classe de l'Oklahoma, il a su tisser tout au long de sa carrière un pont solide entre l'économie du développement agricole, l'enseignement international des affaires et la transformation numérique. The exceptional trajectory powerfully embodies what our university itself tries to represent. Boundless thinking that combine academic and rigor, technological innovation, and tangible impact on people's lives. Nous savons que Également, le docteur PICHOP porte une conviction, celle de démocratiser l'accès à un enseignement et des affaires de qualité à travers le monde et de traduire des théories économiques complexes en conseils pratiques accessibles et utiles pour le citoyen ordinaire. Cette volonté de rendre le savoir utile et disponible à tous résonne profondément avec la mission de ACT University, qui place l'accessibilité, l'innovation et l'excellence au cœur de son projet éducatif. Dear Dr. PICHOP, your presence among us today is a source of inspiration for our students who will see in you a model of academic and professional achievement built on intellectual curiosity, rigor, and service to others. It is also an honor for our institution who will have the opportunity to engage with one of the leading figures of the global accreditation of business education. À nos invités de marque, je tiens à exprimer toute notre gratitude pour avoir répondu présent à cette occasion spéciale. Votre présence rehausse l'éclat de cet événement et témoigne de l'importance que nous accordons collectivement aux échanges académiques internationaux. To our staff and students, I encourage you to fully seize this unique opportunity to learn, engage, and improve through contact with an expert of this caliber. Dr. PICHOP, soyez encore une fois le bienvenu à ACT University. Que votre séjour parmi nous soit riche en échanges fructueux, en découvertes, pas seulement émanant, et en collaboration porteuse d'avenir. Thank you for your kind attention, and I now declare the gathering official open. Thank you.
Thank you, our distinguished Vice Chancellor, for this warm word of welcome. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Recteur. Right now, I will do some, so with your permission, I'll just do some switch over in the program. Can you permit me to be flexible?
Of course you are.
Thank you. Dear Vice Chancellor, your students are there.
Yes.
And you know why they are there? They are happy. Some of them wanted to go home, so we told them, they said no, they cannot miss this lecture.
Good.
They are very conscious of what they want to benefit from this lecture.
Good.
So right now, before we receive the presentation of the profile of the keynote speaker, which will be done by Dr. Wakanayi, we want to welcome one of our rising stars in the field of gospel music, who is a product of the ICT University. And that's no other person than the Oracle, Shiloh. Give him a round of applause. following that thing, I thought the next song he wanted to sing was Happy Birthday to You. I know when people hold that, they always play Happy Birthday. But if you have your birthday, please, Shiloh is ready to come and surprise you with a Happy Birthday song. But before you call him, see me, I'm his manager. Thank you. Give him a round of applause again. Right now, we invite on this rostrum Dr. Maka Aileen Tabue for the presentation of the keynote speaker. A round of applause for her.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aaron. I'm still, absorbing the notes that were played shortly. I'm very honored to present the profile of Dr. Jermaine PICHOP, who is from the US. Dr. Jermaine PICHOP is the current chair of the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs, and an associate professor of business administration at East Central University, where he has served a Fulbright scholar in 1998 with extensive international experience. Dr. PICHOP teaches economics, finance, marketing, and data analytics. He holds a PhD in applied economics from Oklahoma State University, a postgraduate diploma in digital business from MIT Columbia Business School, Executive Education, and an MS in International Relations, International Marketing from the International Relations Institute of Cameroon. Prior to East Central University, Dr. PICHOP taught and served as the chair of the Department of Business at Oklahoma Community College for 17 years, from 2003 to 2020. He taught at the University of Oklahoma and continues to teach at Oklahoma Christian University. From 2006 to 2008, he served as fellow socioeconomic agribusiness specialist and deputy global research leader at the World Vegetable Center in Taiwan, coordinating research projects across 15 African countries. What has been his leadership and professional service? Dr. PICHOP currently serves as chair of the board of directors of the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs, ACBSP, where he has been an active leader since 2008. He previously served as chair of the Associate Degree Commission and has evaluated numerous institutions for accreditation. He is also an emeritus board member of Kappa Beta Delta International Honor Society, having served as president from 2017 to 2019. Please, let's clap for him while we amazing achievements. In terms of research and publication, Dr. PICHOP has authored numerous peer-reviewed publications and contributed chapters to several books on African indigenous vegetables. His technical manuals have garnered over 100,000 reads on online platforms such as ResearchGate. Since 2013, he has served as a consultant for the UN Food and Agriculture Organization and the Center for International Forest Research. Dr. PICHOP has been recognized severally as an excellent teacher, with the ACBSP International Teaching Excellence Award of 2018, the NISA Teaching Excellence Award of 2015, and designation as Emeritus Scholar by the Emeritus Institute of Management in 2021. He is also a Sam Walton Free Enterprise Fellow. At East Central University, Dr. PICHOP serves as primary advisor for the award-winning Enactus team. He's faculty senate member and the university's representative to the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education in Economics and Finance. His unique blend of international experience, academic excellence, and commitment to student success continues to make significant contributions to business education globally. So Dr. Bishop is here as the chair of the ACPSP, and so I'll give a short background. He is going to talk more about that, but I'm just going to give a short background about the organization that he chairs and why he is here today. ACPSP was founded in 1988. It accredits business programs worldwide from associate to doctoral levels. Using the boundary quality management model, it evaluates leadership, planning, stakeholder engagement, academic quality, faculty credentials, and support systems to ensure rigorous, continuously improving education. Its global network spans over 790 institutions and over 1,000 campuses and 60 countries in all continents. ACPSP's mission is to advance excellence in business education. Its vision is for all quality programs to pursue accreditation. Core values of this association emphasize ethical leadership, learning-centered education, social advancement, organizational learning, and continuous improvement. ACPSP also commits to equality, inclusion, and supporting members through responsible, value-driven leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Germaine PICHOP, standing right here before you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manka, for that amazing introduction. And before we proceed, we will continue in introductions, but I was very impressed by that rich biography. And one of the things I learned is the International Vegetable Center. My first time of hearing that. When I think of vegetable, I think of Watafufu and Eru, which is a nice vegetable. Dr. Bishop, you need to eat that in your coming days. All right, I'll just do some light introduction of the panel sitting ahead of us. To the left of Dr. Bishop, we have our distinguished Vice President, Professor Folusho Ayeni. Round of applause for him. He just came in yesterday from the US. You're welcome, Dear Vice President. And to the left of the Vice President, we have our distinguished Registrar and DVC, Professor Pierre Fonkwa. A round of applause for him. The wise man, a lot of gray hair. Thank you, Professor. And to the extreme right of the table, we have another distinguished gentleman, and in the person of the Vice President of the Foundation, Professor Charles Awono. A round of applause for him. And seated on my right side of the panel, we have the representative of the President, Mr. Ipianampa Ekonsime. And the first table, just directly opposite the panel, we have at the extreme left corner, Professor Alain Isso. Thank you for the work you are doing. Thank you for everything. This man does not sleep. Every night he's typing messages. As I look, my phone messages are dropping. Messages are dropping. I call him the man of data. I need data, give me data. It's my man. Thank you, Professor Isso, for all the work you are doing. Beside him, we have Dean of the BMS faculty, Dr. Dag Riva. Please a round of applause for him. And just next to Dr. Dag, we have the Dean of the ICT faculty, Dr. Bambi Pascal. He doesn't have time to keep hair, so he's always having Manu Dibango. And beside Dr. Pascal, we have another guest from the University of Yaoundé too, who has come here trailing the steps of our guest. I'll give him the mic to introduce himself, please.
Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Tiako Irene from University of Yaoundé too. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tiako Irene. I think Dr. PICHOP recognized him. That's fine, the connection is there. And we want to recognize all faculty members, all lecturers, students. You are special this morning. Thank you for being there, as well as our technical bench. Please give a round of applause for that amazing technical bench. Under the leadership, astute leadership of Mr. Nobody else than Charles Ebina. He's the latest father in town. His wife just put to bed Ebina Jr. Please read your wife for Russell. Russell Folusho, did you know that?
Yeah, I know.
So you visit him and give him one sabon. Okay. You know what sabon is?
Has he done his born house?
Born house, yes.
Yeah, born house.
Do you know what
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So right away, without wasting time, we shall give the rostrum to our distinguished guest, Dr. PICHOP Germain. We are welcoming you right now for your presentation.
All right, thank you.
A round of applause for him.
You just tell them next slide when you want them to change the slide. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Yola.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming here, and it's my humble honor to be standing here speaking to you. And I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor and all the administration of ICT University. And I would like to personally thank Dr. Fuluso, that I've known for many, many years now. He's always wanted me to come here. He actually tried to get me here with our CEO. That never happened, but finally I'm here. You know, I might be from the US, but as you have learned from my bio, I'm from the soil, right? So I'm from home. Because I grew up, I was born and grew up in Cameroon, and I went to school in Yaoundé, right? I went to the university here, and I continued to URI before I eventually left Cameroon to go to the US to finish up my education. And for that reason, you know, I do connect with every one of you in this room, right? For some of you students, I know the struggle you're going through. I know your aspirations because I was one in your shoes. So if you see me standing here, it means that there's hope for all of you.
That's right.
So the topic of my presentation today is beyond recognition, the strategic importance of accreditation in higher education. So I'm going to be talking about accreditation, what it is, how important it is for all of us in this room, starting with you, the student, the faculty, the staff, the administrator, and then the community as a whole. Because accreditation in higher education, including in business school, is not just about learning, but the return to the society, okay? There's a reason why we go to school. What do you think is the reason why you are going to school? To serve. That's a good answer. You know, you go to school to be a contributor to society, right? To help the society advance. So beyond getting the diploma and getting a good job, good paying job, and take care of yourself, you have to contribute to the society, because if you do not contribute to the society, then we are going to suffer. The society is going to decline. And at the end of the day, your education would not have served any purpose. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. And before, I talk about accreditation, I wanted to start with a confession. Growing up in Cameroon and going to the university, I never really knew what accreditation was. I'm not sure many of you, I don't know the percentage of you sitting here, before they started telling you that they were pursuing accreditation, you haven't actually heard the name accreditation. So I'll tell you what I first thought accreditation was. Growing up, I was used to accreditation being the paper that journalists get when they want to cover an event. You probably heard it that way, right? Accreditation. So that's what people think accreditation is. So that's one definition of accreditation. To get the permission to cover an event, right? But in higher education, accreditation is not defined that way. So I never knew what the definition of accreditation was. When I moved to the US, I started hearing about accreditation. So at that point, I thought accreditation was a certificate that the school will obtain in order to show that they are recognized, right? Just like an authorization to operate. That's my evolution of the understanding of accreditation. So when I finished my study, it wasn't before I finished my study that I understood exactly what accreditation was. When I finished my study and I started working and I started teaching, then I started hearing different definitions of accreditation. And that definition was very closer to quality assurance. So I went from understanding accreditation as a permission to cover an event, to thinking that it's a certification, an authorization certification to operate, now to understanding that it was quality assurance. So what is quality assurance? Anybody knows what quality assurance is? Maybe some marketing people in the room? In marketing we always talk about quality, right? Sometimes in marketing we say the customer is always right. So to ensure that the customer is satisfied, you have to make sure that you provide that customer with quality product and services. Because you cannot afford to upset your customer. Because your customer is your business, right? Without customer, you have no business. So the customer has to be satisfied for you to continuously have a business. Does that make sense? So that brings me to accreditation. So while my definition of accreditation, my understanding of it at the beginning was kind of wrong, even when I finally understood what it was, I only understood a small percentage of what actually it meant. Because I just mentioned quality assurance, right? Quality assurance can be perceived in different ways. One way of it is what a lot of manufacturers do is inspection to make sure that the product that is made conforms to specifications so that the customer do not have any problem. But that too is just a small part of it. Can you move to slide 2? Next slide, please. Okay. So, we're going to be talking about the strategic importance of that accreditation, which I'm going to go through exactly what accreditation is. Not just the bit that I just gave you, which was quality assurance as in inspection at the end to make sure that the quality of the product is good, right? So, my specific case study will be the organization for which I'm the board chair, which is the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs. So, the assumptions that we're working against, that is mostly understood by most people in higher education, is that accreditation is mostly about recognition. So being recognized, first of all, by the authority, and then by the public, that you have quality program, so you produce good workers for the society and stuff like that is just one aspect. The second is for marketing purposes. You know, when we go internationally, ACBSP staff giving workshop on accreditation, and this topic actually came out yesterday when recognition is the strategic engine behind all of that. So, the idea of ACBSP, how ACBSP came to exist, and then I'll go through for you to really understand how ACBSP came to exist. I'm going to go through the history of accreditation, how it started. Because if I don't go through that history, you will not understand why we're here talking about ACBSP instead of any other accreditor, right? And then I'm going to use ACBSP example to tell you that it's actually more of an operating system, a machine that gets the entire institution to work perfectly. And I talk about some of the criticism. You know, I'm not just going to paint a glorious image of accreditation. There are a lot of criticism that comes with whatever we do. Just to be intellectually honest, so that you know the challenges that you may be facing when you pursue accreditation, how much it might be costly to you, and what some people are saying about it. Okay? So, can you move to the next slide? So, I didn't mention marketing, and I didn't mention recognition. What I did not mention is compliance, right? A lot of people think of accreditation as compliance. If you work in anything that has to do with government regulation, you know that there's a lot of compliance work to be done, right? A lot of reports to be filed and stuff like that. So people kind of put accreditation in that category as well. Once you actually get into the program and start working toward it, there are a lot of Professor Esau knows about this, right? That's one of the reasons why he can't sleep. Right? Because ACBSP is asking him all kinds of stuff. Right? So that's the compliance aspect. But like I said, don't think of it as compliance or marketing. Think of it as a management system. Because once you establish that and it start running, then you won't feel like you have to pull information out of your head to put into that report. Because the information will be self-generating through that process that you establish. Next slide, please. So, what is accreditation? Now, accreditation formally started in the United States and spread throughout the world. As well, it was government recognition or authorization to operate, right? Now, business accreditation started at some of the prestigious business schools in the United States, including Harvard. And before that, the US government had come up with a definition of accreditation. Because in the US, we have two types of accreditation. We have what we call institutional accreditation. That's granted by what we call regional accrediting bodies. That accreditation is similar to what you probably get from the Ministry of Higher Education here. Or from the state university, what you probably will get from CAMES, if you know CAMES, right? Dr. Irene worked at Yaoundé too. He probably knows Cameroon very well. So that's the regional accreditor. The regional accreditor focuses on the entire institution and how it is managed, right? They look at the curriculum, but they don't focus too much on the specific of each curriculum. Then you have what we call programmatic or specialized accreditation. Now you have a body for that for every field, right? In the medical sector, like in nursing, you have an accredited body for nursing school. You have an accredited body for engineering school. You have one for business school. Really, where you don't have that kind of specialized accreditation is the generic higher education that we call common education. That will be your social sciences, your English and literature kind of program, where they rely on the institutional accreditation to show that they're doing a good job. All programs that are considered professional programs have to have specialized accreditation that focus on what they do. That's why we have business accreditor for business. So the U.S. federal definition given to us by the U.S. Department of Education is accreditation ensures that higher education institutions meet acceptable level of quality involving both non-governmental entities and government recognition process. In this definition, you have the authorization which recognizes that you can provide it. And then you have the non-governmental entity, like the regional accreditors, that will assure that you have good quality programs that are churning out students that are ready for the job that employers are offering. Now, the U.S. Department of Education used to recognize all the accreditors in the U.S. Define accreditation as a collaborative, collegial review based on self-study and peer assessment used for public accountability and continual improvement. You can see that there's a little difference between the two definitions. The federal government only cares about, an acceptable level of quality. CHIA goes further, so that every higher education institution has to be accountable to the public. Because the public is part of your stakeholders, right? And then you have to make sure that there's continuous improvement in your programs. So if you cannot demonstrate that as an accreditor, as an agency, they will not recognize you as an official accreditor for specialized programs. So at this time, we kind of have a baseline of what accreditation is, right? So you do understand what it is. Next slide, please. So in business, this is some of the main accreditors that you see out there. For people that have ventured into that, you probably encounter these names. The first one is AACSB, started as American Assembly of Collegiate Schools of Business. Now they changed the name through branding to Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. So the second is EQUIS. EQUIS is a European accreditor. It's highly selective, particularly focused on the entire institution, not specific programs. The third is EMBA, which is also European, only focused on MBA programs. Then you have ACPSP, which I represent here, which is teaching focus, teaching excellence focus, program focus, and mission agnostic.